Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because what just went down on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta makes the Kardashians look like they're hosting a bake sale. Forget your morning coffee. This clash between Yandy and Rasheeda will slap you awake harder than an unpaid rent notice. I'm talking about a showdown so messy, so nuclear, that if reality TV had a Richter scale, this would have cracked the glass. Two queens, two empires, one stage, and what unfolded was less girls' night out and more Game of Thrones with wigs and lip gloss. Whispers of betrayal, shade so thick you need night vision goggles, and an energy so tense that even Bravo producers are probably screaming, "Why didn't we film this?" It's that wild. You see, this isn't just a petty squabble over who wore what or who said what. No. This is reputation warfare, careers on the line, fans picking sides like it's a presidential election, but with better fashion and way nastier slogans. And let me tell you this, once you hear the details, you'll never look at Yandy or Rasheeda the same again. Trust me, you couldn't script this chaos even if you locked Shonda Rhimes in a room with a gallon of Red Bull. So here's the tea. Yandy and Rasheeda didn't just have a disagreement. Oh no. This was not your average reality TV, oops, she rolled her eyes, I'll clap back later moment. This was an all-out, career-threatening, ego-shattering, fan-base dividing nuclear meltdown. And it all happened in front of cameras that were rolling faster than TMZ on a Kanye rant. Let's rewind for the uninitiated. Yandy Smith-Harris, the business mogul, entrepreneur, and professional shade assassin. She's the type of woman who can turn a brunch into a battlefield and somehow still walk away with perfect lip gloss. Then there's Rasheeda Frost, the boss chick, boutique queen, rapper, and let's not forget, survivor of Kirk Frost's Storyline Factory. These two women are not lightweights in the game. They've been through scandals that would break lesser mortals. But put them in the same orbit, and it's like colliding two suns, bright, dangerous, and guaranteed to burn everything in sight. Now, how did we even get here? It started allegedly with whispers, because on Love and Hip Hop, whispers travel faster than gossip blogs after midnight. Some say it was about business, others swear it was about loyalty, and then there's the theory that it was about, wait for it, respect. Yes, that magical word that somehow causes more reality TV chaos than tequila shots on a yacht. The buildup was silent but deadly. Fans noticed the tension simmering episodes ago. Yandy throwing side comments sharp enough to slice bread, Rasheeda giving those "I heard that, but I'll pretend I didn't" for now looks. It was a ticking time bomb. And let me tell you, the explosion did not disappoint. When the moment finally came, it was like watching Mount Vesuvius erupt, except instead of lava, it was shade, receipts, and Instagram-level pettiness flying everywhere. Yandy stepped into that room like a prosecutor ready to grill a witness. Her voice? Calm but deadly. Her words? Surgical strikes. She wasn't there to chat. She was there to bury reputations 6 feet under Gucci handbags. Rasheeda? Oh, she didn't fold. Not even a little. This is the same Rasheeda who survived being dragged through seasons of marital drama. If Kirk's antics didn't break her, you think Yandy could? Ha! She clapped back with the precision of a rapper dropping diss bars at a BET cypher. Every line was delivered with that Southern boss energy. Sweet on the surface, lethal underneath, and the fans? Whew, the internet nearly combusted. Twitter timelines turned into battlegrounds. Instagram comment sections? A wasteland of emojis, insults, and people writing essays like they're applying to Harvard, breaking down who was right and who was wrong. You had number team Yandy versus number team Rasheeda trending like it was a heavyweight boxing match. Floyd Mayweather could never. But here's where it gets juicy. This wasn't just some petty spat. This had layers. Because Yandy and Rasheeda don't just represent themselves, they represent brands, empires, streams of revenue that depend on public image. So every word, every glare, every clapback wasn't just personal, it was business. And in reality, TV, business, and drama are joined at the hip like conjoined twins at a red carpet event. The leak about what caused the clash. Some insiders claim Yandy accused Rasheeda of being fake supportive. You know, that classic smile in your face, whisper behind your back type of deal. Meanwhile, others are whispering Rasheeda had been questioning Yandy's moves in the industry, calling her a little too performative, a little too TV-friendly. Translation, Yandy might be doing it for the cameras, not for the culture, and let's not pretend the producers didn't stir this pot with a spoon the size of Atlanta. Reality TV thrives on chaos, and this was their Super Bowl. They placed these women in the same scene knowing full well someone was leaving with mascara running and nails chipped. Bravo might be jealous, But VH1 just earned themselves a ratings bump so high, cable executives are probably popping champagne in the control room. The first reactions in the room? Priceless. Castmates sitting there pretending to sip drinks while secretly praying they don't get caught in the crossfire. You could see the fear. That please, Lord, don't let her drag me into this mess energy. One wrong glance, and suddenly you're trending too. Nobody wanted that smoke. Not tonight. And let's talk about the audience. Fans were live tweeting like it was a presidential debate. Yandy came prepared with receipts. Rasheeda is unbothered, queen. This is better than Netflix. The memes? Oh, they were instant classics. Split-screen reactions, exaggerated GIFs, and captions that would make Shakespeare jealous. The internet was eating well, and the leftovers were still spicy. Here's the kicker, though. This confrontation wasn't just about drama. It was a mirror, a reflection of bigger issues in the world of reality TV. Authenticity versus performance, loyalty versus ambition, survival versus betrayal. Yandy and Rasheeda aren't just cast members. They're gladiators in a modern-day coliseum where the crowd decides your fate with likes, shares, and hashtags. And after this clash, one thing is clear. No matter how this shakes out, both of their legacies just changed. The fandoms are split, the gossip blogs are salivating, and somewhere in Hollywood, producers are scribbling notes for spin-offs, documentaries, and reunion specials. Because make no mistake, this isn't the end of the fight. This is just the opening round. If the first clash felt like an earthquake, the ripple effect was more like a tsunami drowning the entire internet. Viewers didn't just watch Yandy and Rasheeda lock horns, they turned it into a global event, the kind of spectacle that makes people cancel dinner plans just to stay glued to Twitter threads. It was bigger than gossip, bigger than a fight. It was culture-shaking chaos with glitter on top. Cast members who sat quietly in the corner during the on-screen showdown suddenly found their thumbs working overtime on Instagram. Instead of saying names, they posted cryptic story slides dripping with shade. Stuff like, "Some people love the cameras more than the culture," or "Fake love is the deadliest weapon." Oh, subtle. Except it wasn't. The shade was so obvious Stevie Wonder could have felt it through the Wi-Fi. Then the whispers leaked out from behind the velvet curtain. Word spread that security had to step in, and filming paused because producers feared things were about to go from verbal to WWE SmackDown real quick. Imagine two powerhouses dressed to the nines, diamonds flashing, heels clicking, but both ready to drop the handbags and throw hands. All that was missing was an announcer yelling, "In this corner," weighing in at pure boss energy. And as always, the celebrity peanut gallery couldn't resist tossing their opinions into the fire. Cardi B hopped in with a cryptic laughing emoji under a fan post, which sent Detective Mode fans into hysteria. Was she laughing at Rasheeda? Was she backing Yandy? Or was she just here for the chaos like the rest of us? Nobody knew, but that didn't stop thousands of people from writing entire essays about it. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj's fanbase, the Barbs, decided to jump in uninvited, spamming memes about Rasheeda's boutique while Yandy's loyalists clapped back by pulling out old clips of her running love in hip-hop New York like she was the CEO of drama. It turned into Marvel versus DC, except instead of superheroes, it was boutiques, wigs, and Instagram receipts. The memes were pure gold. SpongeBob pretending to sip tea labeled "the rest of the cast", Squidward peeking through blinds labeled "every fan watching", even mashups with Drake's "Kiki Do You Love Me" replaced with "Yandy, Do You Love Me?" "Rasheeda, are you riding?" The internet doesn't miss, and this time, it created masterpieces. But the laughter came with fury. Viewers weren't just entertained, they were enraged. Half screamed, "Yandy destroyed Rasheeda!" The other half countered, "Rasheeda dragged Yandy back to New York!" Twitter spaces erupted like presidential debates, with thousands analyzing every micro-expression. Some claimed Rasheeda leaning forward was proof she was seconds from swinging, while others insisted Yandy's unnervingly calm tone was the scariest thing in the room. People weren't just watching a TV fight, they were decoding it like the Zapruder film. They were decoding it like the Zapruder film. The fallout spread beyond the screen. Rasheeda's boutique businesses suddenly got hit with shady online reviews. Cute clothes, but fake friends energy. 2 stars. Meanwhile, Yandy's socials were on fire, her DMs exploding with half the world screaming "Queen" and the other half calling her fake. This wasn't just entertainment anymore. It was a branding war, and the internet was taking sides like it was the Super Bowl, and then the bloggers swooped in like vultures circling fresh meat. The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, and every ring light YouTuber with T in their channel name scrambled to upload takes. Headlines screamed, Yandy obliterates Rasheeda on screen, and Rasheeda fires back with boss energy. Some even claim to have exclusive leaked footage, which always turns out to be grainy clips with half a dozen watermarks slapped on them. Did people click anyway? Oh, absolutely. The scandal didn't stay in Atlanta. It went global. Fans from London to Lagos were in the comments like they were personally invited to the reunion special. One Nigerian fan tweeted, "If Rasheeda survived Kirk, she'll survive Yandy. Period." A UK fan joked, "This isn't Love and Hip Hop. This is Love and Hip Hop. Avengers Assemble." International chaos. Reality TV diplomacy. And as if that wasn't enough, fans started making bootleg merch overnight. T-shirts popped up on Etsy reading "Team Yandy, receipts never expire," and "Boss Chick Energy, Rasheeda forever." Capitalism never sleeps, especially when there's a scandal to monetize. Even worse, alliances started fracturing. Industry friends who'd once smiled in selfies with both women suddenly unfollowed one of them, and fans immediately caught it. Screenshots spread, captions screamed, "See, he knows the truth." It was middle school drama with million-dollar stakes. Of course, the editing became its own conspiracy theory. Viewers swore producers had chopped out Rasheeda's best comebacks to favor Yandy, while others claimed Yandy was made to look more calm and collected than she actually was. Fans dug into every jump cut like they were hunting for Illuminati symbols. Suddenly, everyone was a film editor, convinced the truth was hiding in what didn't make it to air. But under all the memes, laughter, and review bombs, something darker started bubbling. This fight exposed the cost of reality TV fame. How much is real? How much is just for ratings? And how dangerous is it when your image, your brand, your income, even your friendships, are all tied to a franchise that thrives on chaos? Yandy and Rasheeda might have been the headline brawl, but every castmate sitting there silently realized one brutal truth. Next season, it could be their turn in the fire pit. And for the network, this was ratings gold. Executives were probably lighting cigars with $100 bills while watching hashtags trend worldwide. Because at the end of the day, one truth rules reality TV: scandals sell. And this one, it didn't just sell, it sold out like a Beyoncé world tour. When the dust settled, you'd think everyone would just go home, cool off, maybe light a candle and binge Netflix to forget the chaos. Nope. The aftermath of Yandy vs. Rasheeda made the clash itself look like just the trailer. What followed was the actual movie, and it was darker, dirtier, and juicier than anyone could have scripted. First up, reputations. Yandy, once hailed as the ironclad strategist of reality TV, suddenly found herself under a microscope sharper than a Kardashian nose job before and after blog. Fans began questioning her every move. Was she genuinely defending herself, or was this a manufactured boss moment to stay relevant? She went from queen energy to camera chaser in record time, depending on who you asked. Her brand, built on loyalty and resilience, suddenly looked shaky. The same followers who once flooded her comments with heart emojis were now dissecting her like it was AP biology. Rasheeda, on the other hand, got crowned by some as the boss chick who never backs down. But let's not sugarcoat, not everyone bought it. Critics painted her as defensive, bitter, and clinging to her boss image like it was the last Birkin bag on earth. The boutique mogul went from fashion icon to internet meme faster than you can say, add to cart. And her businesses? Oh, they took hits. For weeks, fans debated whether they'd shop with someone accused of serving fake love on national TV. Even loyal customers weren't immune to the scandal's ripple effect. Behind the scenes, alliances shattered. Friends of both women faced the impossible decision. Who do you post selfies with now without being roasted alive? One castmate even unfollowed both Yandy and Rasheeda, like Switzerland trying to stay neutral in World War III. Spoiler, it didn't work. Fans dragged them anyway. And let's talk about producers. Oh, they were celebrating in the shadows, sipping champagne and probably emailing spin-off pitches before the fight even aired. But even they couldn't ignore the fallout. Cast morale plummeted. Nobody wanted to sit in a room with either Yandy or Rasheeda, because let's be real, if they exploded once, they could explode again. Imagine filming a girls' night out scene with two women who can't stand the sight of each other. That's not dinner. That's a hostage situation. Public perception became its own battlefield. Fans started writing think pieces on Medium like this was the OJ trial. What Yandy vs. Rasheeda teaches us about reality TV and authenticity. People were analyzing this fight like it was a college thesis. Some called it a feminist power struggle. Others claimed it was manufactured drama for ratings. Everyone had an opinion. And the louder, the better. The wildest part? The scandal started leaking into real-life relationships outside the show. Rumors swirled that Yandy's brand deals were on pause because companies didn't want to be tied to the backlash. Meanwhile, Rasheeda's boutique foot traffic reportedly dipped for weeks as fans debated whether buying a crop top meant picking sides. When gossip literally affects your paycheck, you know things are past the point of no return. But here's the kicker. This fight didn't end anything. It opened Pandora's box. Suddenly, every fan wants the reunion special to look less like a reunion and more like a courtroom trial. Fans want receipts, footage, body language experts, maybe even a polygraph test on stage. People aren't asking for closure. They're demanding more chaos. And that's the genius, nor the curse, of reality TV. Scandals don't die. They evolve. Today, it's Yandy versus Rasheeda. Tomorrow, who knows? But one thing's certain. The blueprint has been set. If you're not dramatic enough to trend worldwide, are you even on Love and Hip Hop? By the time the credits rolled, the damage was done. Yandy's empire bruised, Rasheeda's brand shaken, fans permanently divided, and producers laughing all the way to the bank. No apology tour, no "we've moved past it" statement, no staged brunch with awkward hugs is ever going to erase this. It's burned into reality TV history, immortalized in memes, and replayed on YouTube reaction channels forever. And you, dear viewer, know exactly what this means. The next scandal isn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And there you have it. The fallout's so nuclear it could power Atlanta for the next decade. Yandy and Rasheeda didn't just clash. They turned reality TV into a gladiator arena. And we, the audience, were the screaming crowd throwing popcorn like rose petals. Now let's get one thing straight. This is Celeb Rux, where scandals don't just live, they thrive, multiply, and show up at your front door asking for Wi-Fi. If you thought this was wild, oh honey, buckle up. Because in this house, chaos is the rent, and drama always pays on time. So here's what you need to do right now. Smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're swiping right on toxic drama, is bad for you but can't resist anyway. And don't just watch in silence. Drop a comment. Whose side are you on? Team Yandy? Team Rasheeda? Or team pass the popcorn, I just came for the memes? Every time you engage, you're fueling the scandal machine. And trust me, we have a never-ending buffet of mess waiting in the wings. New scandals drop here like mixtapes in 2009. Fast, furious, and usually starting fights in the comments. And remember, this isn't just a channel, it's a lifestyle. We don't just cover celebrity drama, we serve it hotter than Kris Jenner's PR team on a crisis call. So stay locked in, because the next explosion is just around the corner. And when it happens, Celeb Rux will be right here, front row, narrating the chaos with sarcasm, sass, and absolutely zero chill. Because in a world full of reality TV scandals, one truth remains: the mess never sleeps. One truth remains: the mess never sleeps.